I hate bad hair days. I'll fix you. This'll do it.
Not the gel!
That's much better.
I agree. We look awesome.
So one of the most iconic tropes that creepypasta is often associated with is taking something that isn't usually horror-centric and turning it into this evil bastardization of itself for, whatever the author is trying to make the story about. Some really well-known examples are that of Red Mist, Sonic.exe, and then several other lost episode and video game creepypastas, as there's way too many to name off right here. I'm just naming off the best known ones. And the more and more that you delve into creepypasta, you'll notice that nothing is off the table. As I touched on another video before, probably one of the best videos to do numbers wise here on the channel, of the Ronald McDonald creepypasta. Not even fast food mascots are, free of creepypasta's grasps. And as you can tell by the subject matter in the video, we're back at it again. Now this one's going to be a bit more different because this one actually had a lot of data. It was just really, really hidden. But today we're going to be talking about a creepypasta that a lot of you may or may have not heard about. This one's called the Ronald McDonald's House creepypasta, and a lot of you may have not heard of this story like I mentioned before, but I'm sure you've all seen the picture. It's this picture of Ronald McDonald looking down at somebody, presumably the viewer or the author, I'm not sure. But unlike the Cannibal Ronald McDonald's creepypasta, this one's actually pretty okay. So I'm going to give a very condensed rating of it. And by condensed, I mean I'm really going to try to shrink it down so that I can have it in this bite-sized form for you guys to just kind of get a feel of it. And then that'll be it for the story, guys. So without further ado, enjoy. The story begins with our narrator, 15 at the time, letting us know that they're a foster kid who has had a troubled past. And after facing yet again another series of failed placements with multiple families, they've ran out of options. They're given two choices, which is military school and staying at the Ronald McDonald House. This isn't the charity, this is apparently like the in-universe version of like a halfway house or something. They're hesitant at first, but they're desperate, and they choose the Ronald McDonald's house. When they get there, they're pretty struck by the atmosphere and just the general location of the building. It's windowless, it's quiet, it's gray, there's no signage, and it just looks nothing like what a Ronald McDonald's house would look like. Once they're inside, they start to notice that things are a bit off. The staff and the nurses are all wearing clown makeup like that of Ronald McDonald, and everything just has this sinister aura to it. And once they're turned over to the Ronald McDonald house, they wake up in a small cell, and they have no belongings except for a photo album that is left behind with them. And as they're sifting through it, they're horrified to find pictures of the past foster families that they once lived with, all gruesomely murdered one by one. And it also includes their caseworker. And on the final page, they see a picture of themselves with the words, "You never existed." And they try to escape. Apparently they had hidden lockpicks somewhere on them, and they leave the cell. As they're moving through the hallways of the facility, they hear muffled screams coming from behind closed doors. And they stumble across a room where there's children hung up by the ceiling, crucifixes hooked up to these machines that is draining their blood. And as they flee, they can hear the nurses getting closer with scalpels and needles. Eventually, they make it towards the basement and towards a stairwell. And as they descend, they go into this maze-like structure underneath the building that is full of dark walls and rotting corpses. And in their desperate bid to escape, they find a manhole and they pull themselves to freedom, coming out to an abandoned area with no cars, no light, and only broken glass to accompany them. And the only other sign of life is a police siren in the distance, and then nothing. And as they walk along, they see the familiar light of the golden arches in the sky. And they limp towards it, where they come across a McDonald's. As they walk inside, they see the play place, and as they keep looking inside, they come across something that is way out of place, which is a laptop, which is almost brand new. So they take the laptop and sit next to the iconic Ronald McDonald statues that most McDonald's have sitting on benches, and they begin to type the story that I'm reading you now. And as it rained, they didn't care, because there was nothing for them but for them to wait. And as they begin noticing, out of the corner of their eye, Ronald was staring at them, laughing. And he went ahead and he joined them in the laughter as well. So with the story out of the way, I could finally talk about the image. So the image that we're talking about is the one that where he's looking down at you, the one that I showed earlier. And this isn't necessarily like the main picture, but it's one of the pictures that I've seen often associated with it. And it's one that I've always been confused about, because I always thought it was like some sort of cosplay, kind of like the first Ronald McDonald Creepypasta image drawing that we did before. But it turned out to be a whole lot less complicated than that, actually, because I had quite a bit more to go off of. So I started in the usual place. I started in 10i, because I thought from there it'd just be smooth sailing, but I only came back to a few results, and I actually like to use the oldest one because I feel like it's has a little bit more leads. I tried the other ones, but I was just getting 404s, and even running them back on the Wayback Machine, I wasn't getting any hits. But I did get one, and it took me to a stock image site called Photor, and at first it 404'd, but I put it through the Wayback Machine, and I was able to get back exactly one snapshot. Surprise, surprise, of this archived website. And as I was looking through it, there was a bunch of weird Ronald McDonald pictures, but what surprised me the most is that there was more of that certain picture where he's just kind of like sitting down on the edge of the building. And I couldn't go to a second page because those weren't archived, so I was stuck on the first page. So I just went and I hovered over them, and I was getting the file names for them. And as I got to one specific one, which is the one above the two other pictures, I got something that was even more interesting. The file name was something called Banksy Bristol. Now, I know Banksy as the artist, and I thought to myself, I don't know much about his artwork, but I'm sure he has something to say about McDonald's. And honestly enough, he did, and here's what I found, guys. So, trying out the Google search for, just the keywords that I was looking for, Banksy, Bristol, Ronald McDonald, I came across a lot of different angles of the same picture that I was looking for. And I was even able to find, I guess, like an older website describing where the picture is actually from. So this was actually taken in front of the Bristol Art Museum for an exhibition that Banksy was doing in 2009. And it was a pretty long exhibition. I think it was about 2 months. I don't take my word for it. I think it's from like June to August. I'd have to look back. And that statue was only installed later on during the exhibition itself. So I went and I looked for more angles of this picture, and thankfully I was able to find quite a lot of them. And I thought to myself, well, if people were able to take pictures of this thing, they sure might have been able to take videos of it as well. So I went and I looked on YouTube to find this exact same exhibit, seeing if people were at it, and thankfully a lot of people actually went. And I'll just show a few videos of the exhibition. You should really check it out yourself. It's a very interesting exhibition. a lot of weird art. To tell you the truth, I don't know much about Banksy, but seeing that, it's pretty interesting. And although I was finding a lot of videos about what was going on the inside, I was having a harder time finding videos of what was happening on the outside. And thankfully, there was some, but none of them really had Ronald McDonald. But as I sifted through, I was finally able to find a few of them that did. And I'll just place the videos here for you guys so you can look at them. You can see that Ronald is up there. And it's really interesting because I get to see this image that I had only really seen be associated with this creepypasta in motion. It's pretty surreal. And also all the pictures that were associated with it, it was interesting. I didn't know that it was from a Banksy exhibit, to be honest with you. I know Banksy's a very, infamous or famous, whatever you want to call him, graffiti artist. So it's really odd that I wasn't able to catch this like right off the bat. And thankfully, with me doing my research, I was able to find it. And several of his other works that involved Ronald McDonald. There was even the one where he was a statue or whatever, and people were signing his shoes. And I think it actually kind of got out of hand because I found some pictures in this little article where apparently the people that were behind the shoe shine statue were going to get ticketed. So that's unfortunate. And just looking through Banksy's repertoire of Ronald McDonald, it's safe to say he doesn't like him. There's some that I see here, like the infamous napalm picture from Vietnam journalism. I'm not sure if I could post it here, so I just won't. And yeah, I mean, I didn't know that this was Banksy. I'm familiar with his art, but I didn't know that he was behind this crazy picture creepypasta thing. So I'm glad that we were able to get behind this, get what was going on behind this one. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. Are you guys fans of Banksy? Did you know that this picture was from Banksy? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't. I literally had no clue that it was from Banksy. I had no lead to it. But yeah, we finally figured it out. And make sure to check out those videos of the exhibit. I think that they're really worth a watch. And I'm kind of jealous I didn't get to go, because just seeing the stuff that's there, like the work that went behind it, the animatronics, all that, man, it would have been awesome to see in person. But yeah, that's another mystery solved. What's going on, everybody? It's me, Tango from the future. I just got through editing this video like all night. And yeah, that's just what happens, man, when you edit your own videos. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. There goes my cat. I just want to say thank you to everybody for sticking with me, even though YouTube's been kind of sandbagging me lately. But I won't give up. Yeah, I promise you that the McDonald's coincidence was just a coincidence. I remember the picture when I saw it when I was doing some other research, and I was like, that'd be really cool to look into. So if you're wondering why I did two of those, it's just because there's specifically two, McDonald's creepypastas with really interesting images. But yeah, still gonna be working on stuff. I'm really getting close to moving, so there might be a little bit of a delay there with some more uploads. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent, way more consistent than I was before. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do for me and the channel, and have a beautiful rest of your week if you're starting it, or weekend if you're getting into it. So yeah, be careful out there.